Chapter 8. As soon as we passed under the stone arch that led into Dargo Plaza, we knew things were bad. The birds shot through the shopping district like a strong wind. The islanders, unfortunate enough to be outdoors, screamed as they were assaulted. The palace soldiers shot at the birds and threw nets, but they only managed to stop a few. I couldn't tell how many until Shay parked in a lot down the street. We stayed in the Jeep. "Looks like they got 2 of the birds," Astrid said from the front seat. "How are you feeling?" I asked Victor and Champagne. They sat next to me in the back seat. "I'm fine, sugar pumpkin," Champagne replied. The wrinkles in her skin looked even deeper than usual, her face paler. "Dwarves are very tolerant of disease," Victor said. He looked healthier than Champagne, at least. "My species can hold its own as well," she said with a grin. "Your species can read and affect emotions," I couldn't help saying. "Can't that help you in some way?" "No, but I can read my own emotions right now. I'm very angry." I laughed and then coughed. I used to cough after a laugh if I'd done a lot of cardio. I guess running for your life counted as cardio. The birds left the plaza and headed toward the palace. Shay pulled out of the lot and followed. The soldiers were also in pursuit. "I feel so helpless," I said as we pulled up outside the palace gate. The birds circled above. "The guards are handling the situation just fine," Astrid said, looking back at me. "So many people are getting infected, though." "We have a week to find a cure, Josh. Everything will be fine." She reached back and I took her hand. I looked at Victor and Champagne and smiled as best as I could. "We'll be fine," Victor said. We heard more shots fired from the palace courtyard, though we couldn't see the soldiers because of the gate. We could see some of the birds drop from the sky, however. Only 5 remained, and they flew away from the palace. I lost track of them a few seconds later. We got out of the Jeep and entered the palace gate. Anila and her soldiers stood in the courtyard, looking down at the birds they'd killed. She looked up at us as we approached. "We've gotten half of them," she told us proudly. "Victor and Champagne were infected," I told her. Her face changed with this news. "We may be able to find a cure," Anila said. "Something has happened." "What?" "Follow me." She led us behind the palace, toward a cliff that overlooked the sea. I came here once with Anila, before all the stuff with Rockney happened, and she'd nearly fallen off this cliff. I barely caught her in time. The last time I was here, there was nothing but sea that stretched on forever. Now there was a landmass down there. "Where did that come from?" I asked. The shock was noticeable. "It appeared not long ago," Anila said. "Commander Reese noticed it first. We have no idea where it came from." The mass was small. Basically, it was a tiny island. It was covered with lush grass, with sand lining the shore. I couldn't see the center from here. "I doubt it grew overnight," Anila said. "It must have been there all along and was hidden from us somehow." "Maybe the birds have something to do with it," I guessed. "The birds escaped a week ago," Astrid said. "The island showed up this morning." "What happened between then and now?" Anila asked. It only took my old brain a second to figure it out. "I took that crystal from Dargonius's chamber." "That must be it," Anila said, turning to her palace. "I'm going with some soldiers to check out the island. Care to join?" Astrid and I said yes. I was a little afraid of what we might find there, but at the same time I was excited. Shay went with Victor and Champagne to the palace's sick ward to treat their wounds. Astrid stayed with her mother, determined to help. Anila grabbed a crystal from a secure display case she kept in an unused chamber, and then we were on boats half an hour later. We headed toward the mysterious island.